I can't believe you stole that victory from me.
Fox, stop!
Yeah, seriously, Fox. I need you and Lightning's help.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I was sent here to find you two.
No, seriously, Fox, get off of him. Alright, Tails, what do you have to say?
No, let me at him. Let go, Lightning.
Back, Fox.
Get me down from here, Lightning. This is not cool. I will get Falco on you.
There. Sorry about that. Anyways, continue.
Recently, there have been a lot of temporal anomalies going on.
Temporal means time.
I know what temporal means, Fox. Anyways, what's causing these temporal anomalies?
I don't know, but I was sent here by Lovegook to find you two.
Okay, wait. What the bleep is Lovegook?
Lovegook, LOVGC, stands for the League of Video Game Characters.
Okay, makes sense. But what is it? What just happened?
Oh no! Must have been another temporal anomaly!
Wait, I just got an alert on my phone.
What the? Breaking news? Time seems to have suddenly shifted forward 6 months?
Oh no! They're right! According to my calculations, time has truly shifted forward 6 months!
Wait, what? My sconces are different.
It's because during some time between the 6 month span, you were gonna change your sconces. So now they're changed.
What the? What is that?
Oh no, Lightning! It seems like a barrier has been erected around your shelf.
Erected. Ow!
Tails, do you know of any way that we can break this invisible barrier thing?
Well, there is one way. We can use the turmoil sapphire that I won from the VGC
Wait, what did you pull that out of?
Awards and do a review of a game to generate enough energy in the sapphire so that it can break the barrier.
Okay, so I review a game and it'll build up enough energy in the turmoil sapphire to break the barrier. Great. But what game am I going to review? I mean, all of them are on the shelf, which is blocked by the barrier. Wait, what's that? These two games must have fallen off the shelf during you and Fox's fight earlier.
So I guess it was a good thing that I beat up Tails, because if I didn't, then those two games wouldn't have fallen off the shelf.
Don't start with me, Fox.
Well, looks like I'm reviewing Splatoon. Alright, let's do the... I guess wearing the same clothes for 6 months will make you smell bad. Well, better go change. Get your lump, you two. It's Lightning Scorpion and...
Can I come down now?
No! Today we're reviewing, not Majora's Mask, unfortunately, Splatoon. How you doing, Tails?
Pretty good.
That's good. Now, of course, before we get to the review, we gotta visualize it.
So let's get to that, shall we?
So here we have the cover. Nothing really that interesting here. Just a male and female inkling shooting squid at each other. That's not really that interesting. Let's move on. So we open up the case and there's a disc with nothing but squid on it. Squids? What is the plural of squid? Also, I hope you don't have toothophobia. Because if you do, then you probably don't want to watch this video. So Splatoon. I was first introduced to Splatoon through the Nintendo World Championships in 2015. I mean, I had heard of the game before, but this was my first time seeing gameplay, and it got me very intrigued, so I went to pick up the game for myself. And I remember instantly getting hooked on the multiplayer, while not really caring for the single-player campaign. And not to spoil things, but I pretty much feel the same way. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let's talk about the single-player campaign. First off, every time you start up the game, you have to watch the Inkopolis newscast, brought to you by the Squid Sisters, Callie and Marie. And while these scenes aren't bad, I mean, you do get a laugh every once in a while. Callie and Marie play off of each other well. It's kind of annoying that you have to watch these scenes every time you start up the game. It's not even like the information they give you is all that important to begin with. All they tell you is what maps are currently available, which is already shown when you enter the online lobby, making these scenes completely pointless. Like I said before, the scenes are not bad. I just wish they were skippable, so that way you wouldn't have to watch them every time you started up the game. So the game's main hub is Inkopolis, a lovely little place where you can visit the various shops, check out other players' gear and weapons, or spy on Callie and Marie. Lightning, this is getting kind of weird. It is. Let's move on. As it turns out, Splatoon takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth where humans have gone extinct and sea creatures have taken over. Wow. And people complain about the plots of Nintendo games being too lighthearted. Okay, to be fair, the game's post-apocalyptic setting doesn't have much of an effect on its tone or story. It's just as bright and cheery as other Nintendo games. So in the main campaign, you'll meet this guy, Captain Cuttlefish, who recruits you for the Squidbeak Splatoon to fight the Octarians, who've stolen the Great Zapfish from Inkopolis Tower. So it's up to you to defeat the Octarians and take back the Great Zapfish, along with the little Zapfishes along the way. So throughout the main campaign, you'll ink your way across obstacles while fighting Octarians and Octolings, the Octarian version of the Inklings. Along the way, you'll fight 4 bosses and a 5th final boss. I love all the bosses in this game. They're so creative. And what's interesting is that they all require you to use the same basic skill set, but with a different strategy for each one, so that way it doesn't get repetitive. Eventually, Captain Cuttlefish gets kidnapped, and when you make it to the captor's lair, you find the Great Zapfish, and come face to face with the thief himself, DJ Octavio. So this is the game's final boss battle, you versus DJ Octavio. And overall, it's a really fun final boss battle. It's very unique, and like the other bosses, you only have your basic skill set, that being your gun and your bombs, and you have to use them to your advantage. Like, you don't get any more gadgets throughout the course of the campaign. You just have the basic ones, and you gotta use them to your advantage. There are also really cool moments where you have to shoot his fists back to punch himself, and where you pass a bomb back and forth as if it's some sort of game of hot potato or tennis. And it's really cool. So towards the end of the battle, the Squid Sisters override the radio and play their song over DJ Octavio's, which weakens him enough for you to deal the final blow. So after you finish him off, the day is saved, Captain Cuttlefish is freed, and the Great Zapfish is returned to Inkopolis Tower. And the credits roll. And I love this game's end credits theme. It's so soothing and peaceful while still being pretty catchy. There is one thing I don't like about the credits, however, and that's the fact that you have to shoot them in order for them to appear. So if you just want to sit back and watch the credits, too bad, you can't do that. You have to mash A throughout the entire thing. Or wait, is it ZR? Whatever. I mean, that is a small nitpick,
And I do like interactive and credit sequences in video games, it's just that this one forces you to mash the shoot button in order to see the credits. So with the single player out of the way, let's talk about the main meat of Splatoon, the online multiplayer. I mean, let's be honest, no one bought Splatoon for the single player campaign.
Yeah, definitely.
The main multiplayer mode is Turf War, which isn't about being the last man or squid team standing. Instead, the objective is to cover more of the stage with your team's ink in order to beat the other team. You can still shoot other players, which, if you do, they'll be sent back to their team's spawn point. And you are rewarded more experience points at the end of the match for the more players you shoot, but that's not the main goal. At the end of each match, Judd the Cat calculates which team has a higher percentage of the map covered, and that team wins. Don't make fun of me because my team lost.
It's okay, Lightning. We all have our losing days.
Thanks, Tails. On top of Turf War, there are also ranked battles. In ranked battles, everyone starts off at the C rank, and your rank will either increase or decrease with each win and loss. There are 3 modes in ranked battles. The first one is tower control, in which your team has to take control of a tower and ride it all the way to the other team's base in order to win. Then there's splat zones, where the 2 teams fight to control a certain area by completely covering it with their respective ink for 100 seconds. Finally, there's Rainmaker, which is a lot like Capture the Flag. The goal of this mode is to break the Rainmaker's shield and carry it back to the other team's base. The player who gets the Rainmaker can fire powerful shots, but they're slow, so they'll need protection from their teammates. Out of all the multiplayer modes, I'd say that Rainmaker's my favorite. I just love it and all the strategy that's involved. I like all of the multiplayer modes, and I'd have to say that I enjoy the ranked battle modes more than Turf War. There's just so much more variety in what you have to do and the objectives in these modes. Another one of the things that sets Splatoon apart from other shooters is the transformation ability. At any time, you can transform into a squid and swim through the ink. Not only is this a faster way of moving, but it also allows you to hide, and it refills your ink ammo, so you'll be doing it pretty often. However, you can only swim in your own ink. You cannot turn into a squid in your opponent's ink, and you can't even walk in it. Splatoon is a pretty unique shooter, and while I mostly mean that in a positive way, it is unique in a few negative ways. Firstly, you can't choose your map or mode in the online multiplayer. The maps and modes are on a cycle where they change every 4 hours. So if you want to play on a certain map with a certain mode, too bad, you're crap out of luck. I mean, you can do this in private battles, but you can only play with friends in private battles. Also, there's no voice chat. The developers said they didn't include it because people say hurtful things on voice chat, but all they had to do was give people the option to turn it off. I mean, voice chat could really help teams plan strategies and have better coordination. Finally, connection issues, at least for me, are pretty frequent. I don't have bad internet, so I know that I'm not the culprit, but it seems like every few matches there's a connection issue that prematurely ends the match, and that is infuriating, especially when my team was winning. Yes! Yes! We won! We won! Wait, what the? What do you mean I don't have an internet connection? I was just playing a match. How did I play an entire match without an internet connection? The bleep are you talking about?
It's okay, Lightning. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Thanks, Tails. That really helped. As you can see, there are a lot of weapons in Splatoon. There's a huge variety of weapons from small blasters to big blasters to rollers to sloshers to chargers, all kinds of different ones, and you gotta use your weapon to claim victory. When my team wins, I like to throw my gamepad in the air when my character throws his blaster.
Yeah. Good thing that landed on the bed.
Each weapon also comes with a sub-weapon and a special attack. The sub-weapons range from bombs to sprinklers to mines to echolocators, and they can help out in a pinch. When you've inked enough ground and filled up your special gauge, you can unleash your special attack, which can range from an Inkzooka to a missile to a kraken to a loud killer whale sound, and they can decimate your opponents if used correctly. You can buy new clothes and weapons at the various shops in Inkopolis, and you'll want to do this as certain clothes can increase your stats, and you'll meet colorful characters in each of the shops. However, there is one shop that I dread visiting, and that's the weapon shop. What's so annoying about this shop is that the seller, Sheldon, just goes on and on about each weapon, and it takes so long because he just won't stop talking, and there's no way to skip it either. He talks for 3.5 minutes, and that's when I'm mashing the A button.
It hurts my hand.
So I guess all we have to do now is talk about the soundtrack. Can I come down now?
Fine.
Do not put me right there. I am not sitting next to him.
Yes, you are.
No.
You are sitting right there, Fox.
No, I am not sitting next to Tail.
It's either right there or you go back on the wall.
Okay, fine.
Thank you for cooperating.
The soundtrack for Splatoon is good, but not very memorable. In fact, I only learned the names of the songs when I looked them up for this review. My favorites, and the only ones I can remember, are Splat Tack, the main theme of the game, Hooked, Quick Start, Calamari Incantation, the final boss theme, and the credits theme. The soundtrack makes for good background music during matches, and I like the skate park vibe, but it's nothing remarkable in my opinion. Overall, Splatoon is a solid game and a really unique and fun third-person shooter, but its restrictiveness in terms of the maps and modes, and a lot of unnecessary talking sequences hold it back, and I'm not sure if I can recommend it in 2018, because the Wii U is dead and the online servers for the game will probably shut down soon, especially since Splatoon 2 has been out for a while now. This means that the online multiplayer, the main part of the game, won't be around for much longer, and the single player campaign is decent, but nothing amazing. I guess I can recommend this game if you really want to play the single player, but keep in mind it only lasts about 2 hours. If you want to get this game for the online multiplayer, just get Splatoon 2. It's the same and more, and it's on a relevant system.
Alright, guys. Make sure to share, like, comment, and bash that subscribe button. Because if you don't, you'll be punished for insubordination. The turmoil sapphire is glowing.
Okay, Lightning. Now you need to put the turmoil sapphire up to the barrier so it can ignite an energy blast and break it.
Nothing's happening.
It must not have enough energy yet. Looks like you're gonna have to review Splatoon 2 as well. Sorry, Lightning.
Take care, guys. See you next time.
The tape ripped off all the paint, and I think it took out the wallpaper too. No, it did take out the wallpaper. Oh my gosh. Nice going, Fox. This is all your fault.